I'm just on Sean Fraser's website.
Let's go.
Sean Fraser, MP.ca. There's a photo of him holding a Canadian flag with a child. So absolutely, he is trying to get leadership.
Game on. He's kissing babies. There we go.
You got a logo and a picture of you with a Canadian flag and a random child. Trudeau, he's coming for blood, baby.
He's coming. Mr. Pictou County himself from Nova Scotia. Sean Fraser. Here we are. So that's I think it's pretty clear out there, especially if you know politics.
That makes perfect sense, though, really. I mean, that's the thing, too. Trudeau's whole cabinet is saying, please get away from us. Please leave us alone, please. And he refuses to. So what are you going to do? Well, I better start trying to make this guy is absolutely sewering us and destroying our party name, which is such a damn shame, too, because in reality, in Canadian politics and American democracies, like you need to have the whole point of having all of these different parties that have different seats and majorities and minorities, blah, 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 is because you're ideally going to have enough people representing the most probable common good for the greatest amount of people by sharing all of these insights and whatnot. And so it's so disappointing, really, that there has been so much vitriol between the Liberals and Conservatives. And what Jagmeet has done to the NDPs is just, wow, have you ever disgraced that party name? So it's such a sad scene right now, really. And I don't blame any of them at all for being like, oh, I guess I better step up my social media game and hopefully people might not associate me with that guy.
Yeah, that's actually a fair point. And when I'm looking at even what Jagmeet has done to the NDP, my heart, honestly, my heart breaks for Jack Layton, man. Like, look at what your wife's turned into. Look at what you handed this party over that you worked so hard for. Like, my nan, hardcore NDP orange her whole life, worked for Chrysler, Union, hardcore, says, screw that party. I'm out. She's done with them. She's voting conservative for the first time in her life in the next election. Like,
wow.
This woman is 78, 79 years old right now. And I'm done. Like, they don't represent anything. They don't represent workers anymore. They don't represent anything that we're about. It's insane. And I was like, and it was always fine. This is one of my memories growing up as a kid. My nan and my dad arguing over politics over Christmas dinner. My dad's conservative. My nan is NDP. And that's all. It was kind of fun. It was what it was. And that's what I remember. So to hear her just switch, she's like, done. I'm out. It just shows you how much this guy screwed up. So
it truly is really, really sad to see. And, that's one of those things, like I said, where it's such a disservice. All of these party leaders, and the Conservatives are certainly guilty of it too, of just like BS in the House, like, okay, enough, like, let's get some stuff going here. Everybody's very guilty of it. It's very, very vitriolic. That is the political landscape these days. That's what poor leadership has created. And it's so funny, actually, because, if you look back at history in terms of radicalization in any particular way, whether that be left or right, or any, rebel groups forming, why did any of that stuff happen? It always happened due to the elected leader failing. And then you will have extremes that take place on either side because people's needs are no longer being met. And we are really, really seeing that here in Western society. Also, like France, whoa, what's going on over there?
Seriously. That was crazy.
So we're really seeing that, just like this complete shift of what we thought politics and democracy was, and the absolutely real ramifications of a failing leadership. And it's not just here in Canada, and that almost makes it way worse. So it's really interesting. Like, I hope that somebody can come in and pick up the pieces, but look at what they're inheriting. Even with Trump, look at what he's inheriting. Poilievre, holy moly, good luck.
Good luck, yeah.
Like, it's not a good situation. There has been so much corruption, so much propaganda, and so many people that are just not educated, and they're so indoctrinated. And if that will ever be fixed, I really don't know. I mean, if you were a kid growing up from kindergarten to 12 and you lived life the way that they are right now, and you were taught the things that you are right now, and you saw social media the same way that you are right now, it's a completely different world. And the damage that's going to do to people's psyche and brains, I really don't know if there really is much hope for that. It's really the consequences of this and how children have been used as pawns and in the form of social media and everything when it comes to political propaganda is just, it's insane. And it's something that we've never, ever seen before. And we're going to have to live and learn, I guess.
Yeah. Speaking about using children as pawns, though, that is probably the one thing low key in my heart of hearts that's really upset me is seeing, since Trudeau has broken up with his wife, him always bringing his daughter along on these political trips now. I'm like, leave her out of it, man. Like, this is like, she didn't sign up for this, man. She was born into your family. She doesn't need to be there. I don't know. I could be wrong. Like, I shouldn't speak to family dynamics. But it feels weird as like, you are literally the most hated person in Canada right now. Keep your kids out of the spotlight, dude. And
I also think for a safety issue,
definitely.
Why would you bring your child?
Absolutely. And then especially he's requested many a times saying, well, yeah, please keep my kids out of it. Yet you keep bringing your kids back in. Shut the heck up. Narcissistic behavior. That's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
So
virtue signaling.
Yeah. Yeehaw. That's what he does best. So that's kind of where I think things are essentially left and where they're at this point.